She doesn't understand me, but she'll go to church every Sunday morning because it's a thing to do. And so she'll go and hear the man. Couldn't tell you what he said, which is not really important because the chances are he didn't say anything anyway. Talked about getting involved, possibly, and doing this and doing that and doing the other. Has nothing to do with religion. Religion isn't getting involved, it's telling God's purpose. Does he have a purpose? Well, he has a purpose, and he has made it known in Christ Jesus. That's the pattern. It's a pattern man buried in man. And it has been unfolded in me. Well, I'm just telling exactly what happened to me. If one understands it, all well and good. If they don't understand it, take it anyway. And dwell upon it, because I tell you it is true. And the day will come when I've written in my book, which I call Resurrection. When they find those old scripts, if they ever do, they're going to find that story. But we have no script in the New Testament that is beyond the one just found in 1929, a copy made in the 3rd century. So when you consider all these copies and such discrepancies in the copies, and man makes it fit what he thinks it ought to be. I read here recently, in fact it is in the Interpreter's Bible, our great College of Jesuits here, Loyola. And the founder of that college said that to be a good Jesuit, and therefore he means that's the foundation of the Roman Catholic world, to be a good one, if the church tells you that a thing is black, when you know that it is white, to you it must be black. That's the foundation. Don't question the authority of church. No matter how stupid the statement is, no matter how far afield it is of truth, if they say that is it, and you do not question. And here, this is a searching mind in this world, and you're asking questions. When the vision first happened to me as a boy, I wondered, what on earth is it? Why am I sent? I am not qualified. I don't have the attributes. I have nothing. And here I stood in the presence of these exalted beings, in the very presence of the risen Lord. And he embraced me, because I answered correctly. But my answer was automatic. It came just as though I were prompted. I heard no voice, but I might just as well have been prompted. It came automatically when he said, what is the greatest thing in the world? And I answered in the words of Paul, faith, hope, and love. These three, but the greatest of these is love. And then the Ancient of Days embraced me. And we fused and became one body. Just one body. Yet I didn't lose my identity. And I'm quite sure he didn't lose his. But I was baptized at that moment. Death baptism. To enter into the body. To actually submerge oneself in the body. Now we have it here where you push them into the water. They've got to go right down into the water. They think that's doing it. Many of them get drunk that way. I wasn't drunk. I was simply embraced by infinite love. That was my baptism. And then I was sent into the world, wondering, what on earth am I going to talk about? I am not qualified. I do not have the educational background. I have no background to do what undoubtedly I am under compulsion to do. But in time, the whole thing began to awake within me. And I was moved by compulsion to tell it. And my first night, I think 6 people came. And from then on, it grew and grew and grew as I grew in understanding of what it meant. But that was indelibly impressed upon my mind. I can see it now in my mind's eye. I can see the recording angel before the book looking at me and then checking off my name undoubtedly. But she didn't speak. She just simply looked and then took that quill and checked it, as told in the 12th chapter of the book of Daniel. And then I came back into the presence of this Ancient of Days, and I could think of nothing but love, infinite love. And then he embraced me. Then I stood before infinite might. And it was he who said to me, time to act. And I was whirled out of that wonderful assembly back upon my little bed, and the room filled with light. And for the longest while it didn't subside. But what must I do? Time to act what? I had no money, no name, no reputation, no education. And do what? But as time went on, it unfolded within.